Future State, Superman and Wonder Woman. That's right. Jonathan Kent, Yara, Flor, they're here together in a great book that takes place, I'm guessing, far into the future because they're both adult people now. Jonathan Kent is a big boy. He's a strong, muscular, manly man. And Yara's looking like a Brazilian goddess. Like, it's fun. This book, again, really interesting. Really cool ideas. I liked everything it presented to me. It felt like a naturalistic idea for the characters that we've seen for both of these people. You know, in their stories, the Wonder Woman, the Superman, and Metropolis, this makes sense to me that this is the future they'd go to. And I really like that. So we open up this book. Jonathan Kent is happy. He's just living his day. He's just being bright and bubbly. He's become his father pretty much. And I like that a lot. I like that we're getting some like narration where it's like, yeah, it takes him 0.9 seconds to wake up, 0.9 seconds to drink his coffee, just doing all this stuff. And every morning he wakes up and he blasts the sky into the clouds and he writes, "Hello, Metropolis." And he's like, "I'm here, Superman is here." And it's like, yay, that's great. That's really nice. Or is it good? It's like, "Good morning, Metropolis." And you see Superman's just like making skywriting and everyone's just happy. And he's noticing that in the sky, there's suddenly two suns, and you're like, that's weird. Why are there two suns in the sky? That shouldn't be normal, because it's not normal for two suns to be in the sky. So then we cut to Brazil, where Wonder Woman is just like, yeah, let's have fun. There's a rich man in a helicopter. His helicopter comes crashing down because of a solar flare. Wonder Woman saves him, and instantly he starts to like just mess with the guy. Like, dude, your plans to like get your own money by stopping like the production of roads is dumb. Do you want helicopters in the sky? Because we can arrange that. And she's just kind of like telling him like, you're being kind of a dick, man. Like, look, come on, chill out, do your job. Like, come on, help the people, man. Just do that shit. And you're like, that's fun. Again, this Yara Fleur is a very different Wonder Woman than Diana or even Donna Troy and any of those people. She's just very much like, I'm just going to do the thing. It's done. Let's just move on with our day and have fun. So she heads to this farm after she gets this rich man kind of like just to like deal with his problems. She heads to this farm where these two brothers are living, and it's quite an Io. I can't remember how you'd pronounce the names. But basically, we learn that these two men are the or like a sun god and a moon god. So their two brothers are like the opposites in like this culture. They're the versions of the sun god. So it's like the myth makes the sun bigger and all that stuff. And they're just having fun. It's like early in the morning. The moon guy's just like, I'm going to get drunk and just drink this weird kombucha thing I made. It's going to be really great. We'll have fun. Come on. Yara, why don't you have a sip with me? Sit on the porch. And I just like that Quite, who is the sun god, he just walks outside and he's like, there's an imposter in the sky. That's not the sun that I am. Who will worship this false god? And he gets really pissed. He jumps onto his fire horse and he heads into the sky. And Yara's just like, I'm going to have to deal with that later. But right now, I think I'm just gonna get drunk on this porch. And you're like, oh, that's fun. I support that. Do more of that, please. It's just really funny, really different. So we see that Quite goes into the sky, and he's just like, who dare do this to me? Who attacks me? Who dares speak this way to me? And we see that it's Solaris, who is one of the villains of Superman in this timeline. He's like, I am Solaris, the new god of the sun. Watch me as I destroy everything you hold dear and become this idol to Earth. And then Quite's like, shut the fuck up. I am going to kill you. So they get into a big fight, and because two suns are literally fighting over Earth, it's throwing everything out of whack. So John is just talking to Midnighter in his head, and he's like, okay, tell me what you need me to do, what I can save. And there's like so much going on here. I got to figure out where to like prioritize my time. So they're like a lot of like solar like flights from planes and stuff could be coming down. So we'll have to figure out a way to stop those from happening. But also because of this, there's going to be numerous fires throughout the world. We should put those out. So Midnighter decides he'll focus on getting like the airlines to come down peacefully without any hesitation or any like any death, pretty much. So Superman has the ability now. He can just go put out all the fires and save the day from anybody who needs his help in that regard. So we see that he is just kind of like, okay, I'm going to go do that. Hopefully the thing in the sky works itself out. So he starts to fight the fires. We even see that Yara is just like, oh my goodness, Quite, you had to be this dick, didn't you? Okay, so she's going to go help put out the fires. She intentionally runs into Superman, and they're just like, okay, what's going on? And then they're kind of like, well, the sun god is fighting your villain who's also a sun. So maybe we should do something about that. But Superman's like, yeah, well, what are we going to do? Because the sun is out of like whack and doing all this weird stuff, Superman is both simultaneously gaining immense power and losing immense power, so his body's in like constant flux and he can't really control how he's doing anything. So he's just kind of out of it. But he's got an idea that like if I go there, I'll be charged enough and strong enough to actually be able to stop this from happening. So the fighting's kind of ceasing. We see that Quite absorbs like a bunch of the power from Solaris, and then now Solaris needs to recharge. So Quite is like, yeah, when you come back, I'll kick your ass again. Goodbye. I like this character of the Sun God. I think he's pretty fun. I'm really enjoying that. So John goes back into space and he's standing next to Solaris like, dude, you can't be here, man. You saw the Sun God. He kicked your ass. You know I'll kick your ass. Do you really want to fight both of us? Because next time you'll probably fight both of us. But Solaris, being the dick, is like, I can take you. I'll take you down fair and square, Kryptonian boy. And Superman is he's just, I really like this book because they're just lighthearted. It's like, yeah, well, okay, what about this? How about tomorrow when we both recharge and have our day? We'll come back, we'll meet here, and then you and me will fight, and then the winner will just, let the other one do nothing. If you lose, you just leave, okay? And then Solaris is like, okay, works for me. I really like the feel of this book. It's lighthearted. It's campy. The Wonder Woman and Superman, they're both like really just like comfortable in themselves. They're like, yeah, I'm going to go drink on a porch. Yeah, I'm going to shoot writing into the sky saying good morning to Metropolis. It's just really cute and fun. I like that feel. I like what this book is presenting. So the next day, we see that Yara and John are having just breakfast together. Like, John, this is a stupid idea. You are just like what are you thinking that this is going to work? Like, do you really believe that you can beat him? And if you do, what's it to stop him from coming back? But John's like, you got to have hope, Yara. You got to do the right thing. And I like Yara's like, that's great. That's just great. But hope doesn't pay the bills is pretty much what she's saying. Bad things are still going to happen. Even if you succeed, you have to be less optimistic. I kind of like that they're not like super close. Like we saw in the Justice League book that they kind of knew each other and they were friends, but here they're more mature. Yara is no longer a part of the Justice League. John is trying to like still keep everything and be like the peacekeeper that his dad was, even though he can't like potentially live up to his father. And I like that a lot. There's like that conflict of interest. So they both kind of storm off, but John's like, oh, would you look at the time? I got to do my skywriting again. So when he heads into the sky, he realizes that his power is dwindling, and he starts to fall with his laser shooting and hitting a building. And that's how we end the book. And it's a really interesting dynamic that we're seeing here. I was expecting these two to be like buddy-buddy throughout the entirety of the book. They're nice and they're chummy, but they're not really on the same page. If everything, Yara's a little more antagonistic towards the actions of John, and I think that's a really cool feel. I really like Dan Waters writing this because it's really fun. It's so lighthearted. It feels like an old school book. Superman's bright and colorful. The world at large is very bright and colorful. There's gods, there's aliens, everything you'd want from the lore of these two characters. It's here for you to read and for you to enjoy. So I really like that aspect of the book. I'm really liking this version of Yara, and I'm really liking this version of John. So I think this is going to be a fun one to read. I cannot wait to see what happens in this book. The artwork is great. The colors are very fantastic. It's very bright. Nothing's really dark in it, which I really appreciate because you could easily, it's the future, it's going to be dark and scary, like Gotham, but Metropolis has always been the brighter place, so show the brighter, colorful things. Do that, and that's a really fun area you can explore in this book. So I really like that idea, and I think this has been a fun read that I cannot wait to finish. So, Future State, Superman and Wonder Woman, I'm going to give a 7 out of 10. And thank you guys so much for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, Patreon, Twitter, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have fun, stay safe, good luck.